Okay. I was telling people that I was a little bit concerned, and so I had a lot of doubts about the vaccine, and then I got this invitation to talk to you, so it would be really helpful for all of us to learn and to understand about the vaccine. So, first question, which of the COVID-19 vaccines have been officially approved by the FDA?
3 of them. One from Moderna, which is the mRNA vaccine, one from Pfizer, which is another mRNA vaccine, and the other one is from J&J, Johnson & Johnson, which is a little bit different. It gives the same kind of response, but it's a little bit different. So there are 3 vaccines that have gotten emergency use authorization from the FDA so far.
So I'm going to play here the devil's advocate.
Okay.
To understand better, I asked if it was approved by the FDA, but I think that it's a different thing that an emergency use authorization than an approval. So, what is the difference between an emergency use authorization and an official approval by the FDA?
Yes, that's a very good question. So, an emergency use authorization is based on the criteria if the benefit clearly outweighs the risk and that you get a good degree of efficacy and safety. The full licensure is when you follow it for a longer period of time and you get more information and data. I have no doubt, given how very, very efficacious all 3 of these are, that they will ultimately get the full authorization in the sense of what's called a biological license approval. But an emergency use authorization is really quite of an important step in the direction of getting it the official approval.
Now to the coronavirus in the U.S., and tonight the CDC is now investigating a potential link between vaccines and heart inflammation in younger Americans. So far, more than 200 cases.
From the exam room to the courtroom, this morning, new fronts in the fight against COVID-19. The CDC finding 16 to 24-year-olds who received the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine have experienced higher than normal cases of myocarditis and inflammation of the heart muscle.
But tonight, the CDC is reviewing several dozen reports that some vaccinated teenagers and young adults may have experienced heart inflammation.
There's an alarming new report, though, tonight from the CDC revealing some young people have experienced heart issues after getting vaccinated for COVID. And Fox 5's Jason Sloss is live for us in Kearney Mesa with what it's all about and what local doctors are saying about that report tonight.
In the vaccine space, we're looking at the CDC convening an emergency meeting on June 18th to look at cases of inflamed heart for individuals.
The CDC is set to hold an emergency meeting next week. if it's such an emergency, let's do it this week. To discuss reports of heart inflammation, here we go, in 16 to 24-year-old males after they received the second dose of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
There's an alarming new report from the CDC revealing that some young people have experienced some heart issues after getting vaccinated for COVID. Fox 5's Jason Sloss is live in Kearney Mesa with what this is all about and what local doctors are now saying about the report. Jason.
Okay, so but if the vaccines are safe and effective, why hasn't the FDA given any of them the full official approval and license?
Actually, Eugenio, that is a very good question. There isn't like they have any problem with it. It just takes logistically a long time to get the approval. So when this is such a good product that you want to get it to people as quickly as possible because it's life-saving, you give it what's called an emergency use authorization. Not that there's anything less effective in it. You just takes a long time to get the full approval. And rather than deprive people of getting a life-saving vaccine before all of the I's get dotted and the T's get crossed, they give it an emergency use authorization based on a lot of solid data that it works.
My experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history.
Yeah. And, because of what we're doing with coronavirus, we haven't heard a lot about the seasonal flu. We lose 30 to 60,000 people from the flu. Has that gone down dramatically?
Extraordinarily dramatically, Brett. And in fact, that is a very good testimony to the efficacy of wearing masks, avoiding congregate settings, and keeping distance, because we did that during this late fall, early winter, and the level of influenza in the community is remarkably low regarding comparisons to other years. Our Australian colleagues had the same experience during their winter, which is essentially our summer. When I was talking to my colleagues in Australia, they were saying, Tony, we don't have hardly any flu this year, and we think it's due to the fact that people are wearing masks, keeping their distance, and avoiding congregate settings. Goes to show you that those types of public health measures actually work.
Now come to